Welcome to Armchair Safari, the daily show where we try to become better designers by finding something cool online and breaking it down. So today we're going to be learning from Daniel Sun underscore UI on X. And he posted this design in a thread about the best designs you've ever done. And I thought it was really fun in a sort of retro way. So we're gonna check it out in full. This is his portfolio page, and it's beautifully done. Well done, Daniel. But I want to break this down and see like what can we learn from this. The reason I want to is let's refresh this and let me show you what I mean. Everything is animated in a very simple way. So if we scroll up a little bit, we get this super weird animation of like fun things that he is working on: websites, interface, branding, illustration, animation. And notice that each one of these things look like a pill, like an old school skeuomorphic button pill sort of thing. But with this, what is it called? It's not palette colors. It's like pastel colors. So it's very modern in a sense, and in the same way, it's very unmodern. It's very retro, and it's super freaking interesting. So this whole background here, this whole card here is also has this like skeuomorphic feel to it. So it has a bit of a top edge. Has a bottom border that is a little thicker, like an inner shadow and an outer shadow, making it sort of convex. Same thing is true with all of these. And if we scroll down a little bit, we have some skeuomorphism here around these photos. Then we're flat with the logos, and we have more skeuomorphism here. But we also have this modern like gradient. And look at this button. Oh my God, that is so incredibly interesting. It's definitely not a flat design. And it's very close to what we used to play around with when iOS was new, like before iOS 7. Everything was skeuomorphic, everything was 3D. And this really captures this 2.5D sort of vibe that has been starting to pop up every here and there. And look at these ones. Oh my God, these are like very classic, almost Mac OS Aqua-like. If you don't remember what that is, Google Steve Jobs and lickable, and you'll have a good time. I'm serious. That's not like a porn joke. That's serious. It's fun. And then we have like a bunch of his case studies, and he's done a bunch of good design. And when I'm not out with my loved ones, you catch me come out doing this. And look at that. That's like, oh, so the animation only triggers first time. So let's go down again, and we scroll them in. They all like have this little tiny pop-in effect. But these are also like, they're supposed to be legal pads in different colors, but they are also pills, and they're also skeuomorphic in 2.5D, which is very interesting. And then we have this very interesting stack of cards of stuff that he has done over the last years. And there's some really cool stuff. Just the stack in itself is really cool. Also, this weird 2.5D. I say weird, but I don't really mean weird. I mean sort of this style hasn't been perfected yet. And you can sort of tell that there's like these cards are incredibly cool, whereas this card is less perfect. Like it's still cool, but it's not as perfect as these cards. This stack of cards feels like you're interacting with a digital object. It's so logically consistent, and it's so design-wise consistent, and it feels so close to something that we recognize. It is skeuomorphic, yeah, but it's almost like I want to just touch them with my hand. If I was on a touchscreen here, I would definitely start like swiping them to see if that works. I can't do that with a mouse. Whereas this card looks more like, oh no, this is just like a traditional card. We just have a little bit of shading to it. So it's a very cool like mix between. It's halfway between 3D and flat, and that is just very interesting. So let's break it down. What's good about this? Well, some of these things are incredibly beautiful. So let's stick with the theme and talk about the craziness of it. So the shadings and colors and everything of these 2.5D objects are wonderful, especially the cards, um, especially these cards, but also these cards and these cards. Then we also have these really cool buttons, and they are very cool and very interesting, but they're also jarring because they pop out of something that is flat. So you're not really expecting them, and you're like, whoa, what is this? And the effect is so large that for me, it's jarring. But for someone else, it might be just, oh, that's cool. I do think it's cool. It's just that it's more jarring than cool for me. But that's a personal opinion, not a design critique. Um, what is a design critique is that it's completely unexpected because there's just nothing here to give you the idea that this is going to pop out of you at you like this, which is very interesting. This is also super strange. These buttons pop out and this pops in. That is a very odd choice. That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, so let's continue with the good. Um, Another good thing is the structure of this is really, really good. So he starts out with just a very tight tagline, and then I'm not even sure I should call this a tagline. It's a top line. This is like the context. Like this is Daniel. He is doing this, and this is what he wants you to take away. And it's a really clear, really good context. There's no CTA, but maybe he doesn't need one at this point. I don't know. But then I got to show you this as well. The scrolling of this site is just really damn good. It's just really, really good. Jumping around it using the navigation feels like among the best things I've ever seen in like a one-page navigation. It's super quick, it's super tight, and this little marker thing on the button is excellent. It's very, very cool. These cards are also incredibly just fun. And I love like the handwriting thing. It was so overused a few years ago, but here he has created this sort of safe space where it's the 2.5D vibe makes it a little playful, right? So, and it's not overused. Like there are some things here and there that are written out, this handwritten thing, but it's not overused. It's just a thing here, a thing there, and it really works. Like you just want to go like, yeah, okay, cool. And it's also not the important thing, right? This is just like a comment. Like this is what you should be reading. If you wonder about the playful stuff, you can also read this. In general, the structure of this page is just really nice. Like starting out with a very short story about Daniel, then very clearly like these are his best recent works, and you can pop into them. I'm not going to because this video is going to be too long. And then like these are the skills that he's going to be doing, and these are some things he's been working on. So to show like a more structured portfolio, and then the big CTA. Like yeah, let's do it. Start a project right here, and you can follow me here. And just it's just very tight. Oh, I didn't see this effect actually previously. The how the nav bar expands to fill the top card and then contracts to be more interesting or out of the way, I guess, or when you're scrolling is a really nice effect. Completely unnecessary, just beautiful, which is just really, really nice. So like there's so much good about this. The basics are excellent. The storytelling is good. The visual hierarchy is good. Um, it's a weird humble brag, but there's so much really good core stuff. And then there's this playful level of graphics that it's just so unexpected. Like I would expect this to be more like a LinkedIn profile, you know, a little corporate. And I guess we're finally sort of getting out of that. So I'm really thankful to be seeing this. Okay, so that said, what's bad about this? I think the playfulness of this page sort of makes you not think that this guy, the guy who did this, is the same guy who did this. And maybe it makes more sense when you actually open the use cases. Again, I'm not going to. Um, but I do feel like this it probably is super competent, but playful is always a hard balance to strike, and sometimes you go a little bit too far. And I think in this case, it has gone a little bit too far. It could be my personal opinion, could be. But as a designer, I try to find the things that we should think about. And if I was Daniel, I would think about, did this go too far into playful? And is it now starting to look like I'm not as serious? Now, you, as the viewer, can also jump in here and tell me like I'm completely wrong. That would be super helpful if I am. So please do. There are comments below. Um, but that's sort of what I take away from this. Another thing that is bad or that could be improved is that I would expect a little bit more of a CTA and maybe something more to tell me what am I getting. So this page is here to present Daniel and to present what he can do for me. And I get a really strong feeling about Daniel. I get a really strong feeling for what he can do, but I don't get a strong feeling for what you can do for me, Daniel. So I would like the CTA to have a little bit more like, this is the thing that you're gonna get. So what I mean by that is basically this is the tagline or the CTA for the entire page. It would be nice with at least one more. And elevate your business with emphatic visuals is not strong enough. I don't know what that means. What does elevate your business mean? Are you selling me ice cream? Are you selling me a jack? I don't know. So something more, or no, not something more, something more specific, like which business, what kind of emphatic visuals, how does it elevate the business? Something a little bit more concrete. But I think that's it. I think that's what we can really take away from this. Yeah, yeah. So the core question in design is always, does this work for the end user? And again, now I think the context of this page is that we're getting an introduction to Daniel. Check, very much does that, and provides Daniel as a service. If I need a designer like this, should I go talk to Daniel? I don't think it actually nails that. I think it's a great introduction, but I think the CTA could be stronger. Maybe that's not the point, right? Maybe Daniel is using this more as a portfolio that he's sending around, so people are already talking to him, and this is just a way to introduce Daniel. If so, excellent. If it's supposed to be both, I think there's more to do, but it's damn close, and it's a beautiful piece of work. And I gotta say, I love the fact that designers are doing this 2.5D thing. It's super interesting and it's super fun. And that's it for today. See you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye bye bye.